Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about The Witcher Season 4 and its movie spinoff, The Rats. So really quickly, before I head into my thoughts and feelings on Season 4 of The Witcher, plus I'm going to do a little mini tiny review on the Rats spinoff movie. This review, I'm probably just going to go right into some spoilers. Yeah, we're 4 seasons into a show. You've either seen this show or you haven't. So yeah, this review is definitely going to be more intended for people who have stuck with the show so far. So let's get going. So the plot for season 4 of The Witcher. Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri are separated once again, as always. Geralt, injured, is joined by a group of misfits to find Ciri. Yennefer wants to rebuild Aretuza and fight back against the powerful Vilgefortz. And Ciri adopts a new identity as she joins a group of thieves. You know, let me start here with my thoughts and feelings on The Witcher. I am someone that, if you have been on my channel before and if you have happened to watch any of my other reviews, I am someone that I am very, very lenient when it comes to The Witcher. I have not read the books. I've not played the video games. I have seen gameplay of the third Witcher game, but that's it. You know, I don't have any extensive knowledge on the lore and the building of the universe of The Witcher. You know, I just don't have any of that sort of knowledge, so I can't compare and contrast. You know, I am strictly viewing and reviewing what I am given on this show. So yeah, in the past, when I have reviewed this show, I am someone, I'm very lenient with it, and I typically enjoy it. For instance, I really loved Season 2 and 3. Season 2 and 3 are my favorite seasons of the show. Season 3 especially. I really love Season 3. Don't get me started on how much I love Season 3. And then like Season 1, I do think was a bit of a hot mess. Season 1 was definitely a bit of a hot mess because of the multiple timelines going on, and the show never made it clear that there were multiple timelines going on until there's like kind of this drop that happens, and it's like, wait, what? There's 3 different timelines going on? When did this happen, you know? So yeah, Season 1 was definitely a hot mess. Now, Season 4, there's a lot of controversy going into this 4th season that I just don't think did it any favors. I definitely think Season 4 is probably my least favorite season. And I kind of hate to say that because I was really looking forward to this season. All the trailers looked really good. I was really curious to see what Liam Hemsworth in particular was going to do, because that was one of the big things that went down in between seasons is Henry Cavill had enough and he up and left, and they had to recast him very quickly with Liam Hemsworth. So I was definitely curious to see how that was going to go. I'll kind of get into that in a bit, how I felt about Liam Hemsworth. But yeah, I do think I would say this is probably one of my least favorite seasons. Like I said, if I had to rank them, you know, from best and down, I think 3, 2, 1, 4. Not that I didn't hate this season. Let me kind of put that out there. I didn't hate the season, because there's definitely the group of people that just want to bitch and complain for the hell of it about this show. And I'm not one of those people, you know. I'm not hating on this show just for the sake of hating on it. I still enjoyed this season, but it was definitely one of the more messy seasons for sure. It was just a really odd season. It's like there were the things that I really liked, and then the other things that's kind of like, I don't care. And I think some of my issues with this season in particular, was it just me? I felt like nothing happened. Like, absolutely nothing happened this season. Okay, obviously, things were happening. We had 8 episodes, clearly. There were things happening, but nothing that I felt was moving the plot or the characters forward. This season felt oddly stagnant. Like, there's just no growth anywhere for character or for plot. Because, as we know, there's going to be one more season to this show. Netflix has renewed it for one more season. That's going to be the final season. What it felt like with this season, the vibe that I was kind of getting, it felt like this season was like a filler season. That there's a certain direction that they want to go in the final season, and they want to have all the big, crazy, wild stuff happen in the final season. So yeah, this season, as a result, I feel like suffered from that, and they didn't really know what to do with this season. Like, everything happening in this season just felt like filler, and it felt like just a setup for all the good stuff to come in the final season. At times, it just felt like nobody was moving anywhere. Like, Geralt, for instance, Geralt just, I felt like I was watching a video game with him. Seriously, it felt like a video game. Like, when you have, like, you know, when you're in a video game and you have a mission to do this, a mission to do this, a mission to go here, you know, like, especially in like an open world games, which is what the Witcher games do. It's an open world gameplay. It did. I just felt like with Geralt's plot, I was just watching a video game as he was just going from quest to quest to quest, and, you know, helping out stranger after stranger after stranger, you know. So I felt like his plot wasn't really going anywhere, because the whole time he was looking for Ciri and Yennefer, obviously, but it just never progressed beyond him in quest mode. And then, yeah, Yennefer, in the meantime, Yennefer spent the entire season, like, recruiting other witches to the cause to take down Vilgefortz, you know? And the whole season was just the recruiting process and kind of trying to figure out their game plan. And then, yeah, we do finally get to a big battle sequence. Is it like the penultimate episode? I'm trying to remember which episode it happened in. We do finally get to the big showdown between, like, Vilgefort's forces and then, yeah, Yennefer's forces. And that was really thrilling and exciting. I loved all of that. There's some really fantastic action sequences. I think that really amped up the intensity. So yeah, her plot really got nowhere. And then you do finally get a battle, and I thought I thought this was going to be it for Vilgefortz. No, the man is going to continue into the next season, it seems. So I was kind of frustrated with that. Like, what was the point of kind of building up all this and then having this really great epic battle for him not to be defeated? Because I'm assuming now he does need to be defeated in the final season, you know? So it's like, why couldn't they do that here in this season, so that way we can focus on some other things that need to be resolved in the final season? Because now it feels like the final season is just going to be overloaded. I don't know if you guys kind of feel that way. I just feel like the final season is going to be overloaded with too much going on now, because this season didn't want to do too much to take away from the final season, you know, which I think was a huge mistake. This season needed to get some stuff out of the way. And then, yeah, do not get me started on Ciri this season, you guys. I usually love Ciri to death, and I found her arc to be the most aggravating and annoying, and I have never found Ciri to be annoying. I love Ciri, but yeah, I did not like anything going on with her and the rats. I found all of them kind of irritating. I didn't really particularly like any of them, and again, just nothing really happened, you know. And then, yeah, we finally get like this really insane ending, you know, where the one guy who's been hunting them all down, he comes in and just wipes out all of those characters left, right, and center. Yeah, and Ciri manages to kind of get out of that intact, but she's still captured, you know. So yeah, that was a pretty intense sequence with the death of all of the rat characters, obviously. But again, it's like, I had no emotional connection to any of them, you know? And yeah, I'll get to the movie, the Rats movie, at the very, very tail end of this review. I'll kind of go into that very quickly. But yeah, I do want to touch on some other stuff with this season of The Witcher. I've not really gone into Liam Hemsworth just yet. Let's put it this way. I think Liam Hemsworth was a really terrific recast. I think he has that Geralt look to him. You know, he looked good in the wig. I think that was important. Some men are not going to look good in that wig, and I think Liam Hemsworth definitely looked really good in the wig. It didn't look strange or weird or anything. You know, here's the thing. It's not Liam Hemsworth's fault that Henry Cavill left, you know, after 3 seasons of being this deep into his show. Liam Hemsworth, I think he did the best that he could given the situation. Because this is the fourth season, and he's not had all of this time, he's not had all this time to develop relationships with these other actors. And then even in this season alone, he doesn't spend very much time with Yennefer. He just kind of has a couple sequences with Yennefer, and that's it. And then, yeah, he doesn't spend any time with Ciri, I don't think. They do have, like, some really quick flashback sequences, like, with him and Ciri, but, like, that's just that they're very quick, snappy sequences. They're not lengthy with him and Ciri. Well, except for the part with the hair. There is that really cute part where he's braiding her hair. I did love that part with him braiding Ciri's hair in a flashback, actually, now that I think about it. So, yeah. Liam Hemsworth, I think he did the best job that he could, considering this is the fourth season. He's not had that time to build up relationships with other actors. And, yeah, he's not been able to build up the character as his own. I don't think he's going to be able to make this character his own with just one more season to go. He's not been in this headspace for a lengthy amount of time. And yeah, this season, once again, the season did Liam Hemsworth no favors by keeping Geralt so stagnant. It was a very stagnant season. So again, Liam Hemsworth did the best that he could, I think. But as far as his character is concerned, I did like seeing Geralt in this more kind of vulnerable position, if you will, because he suffered a pretty bad injury at the end of the third season. He's still going through that injury, and he's trying to keep it hidden and secret from everybody. So he's in a very weak and vulnerable predicament this season. So I liked seeing that side of Geralt, because we typically don't see that side of him. And can I highlight his gang of misfits really quickly? This is the terrible thing, because I think Liam Hemsworth, because all these other characters within the gang of misfits, because a lot of them were pretty much like brand new for the most part, Liam Hemsworth was able to establish like chemistry and relationships with all these other characters and actors, compared to Yennefer and Ciri, unfortunately, because I did really like Geralt and the group of misfits. Like that balance of humor that was going on between them was really great. I like the playfulness of his scenes. Yeah, there's this great line of dialogue. I think that happens in is it like the final episode? I'm trying to remember if it's like the final episode or maybe the penultimate episode. And someone says something about, yeah, we got some dwarves, a gnome, a guy that's not a Nilfgaardian, a dryad, a poet, and a vampire. Seriously, what an ensemble, a group of characters in the gang of misfits. And definitely a highlight to Cahir. I loved seeing more of Cahir this season. It kind of builds up this whole thing of like, is Geralt going to kill Cahir? But yeah, as always with the show definitely always plays into this notion of, fate and destiny. And yeah, Cahir is part of that. It's just, yeah, Yennefer and Ciri and Geralt have never really kind of acknowledged how wrapped up Cahir is kind of into things. And yeah, Cahir, because there's that big drop, near the tail end of the season when Cahir is the one who makes Geralt realize that connection, between like Emperor Emhyr and Ciri, and that's kind of the whole fate and destiny thing. Why, to my eyes, why Cahir was never just killed off by anybody. His fate and destiny was to be part of this gang of misfits and deliver that really useful bit of intel that Geralt needed about Emperor Emhyr and Ciri, that connection, which is kind of bizarre in the show, because it's like, we, the audience, it's like we are made aware of it, so it's kind of strange. We are so very aware of it, but the characters have no idea. I also really liked Lawrence Fishburne in this season as well. He's a vampire, for crying out loud. Vampires exist in this world. It's this show, the world building of this show is just so bizarre for me, because yeah, I can deal with like the witches and sorcerers. I can deal with like the strange beasts and monsters and stuff like that. But I don't know what it is about vampires in this universe. It just sounds so normal, if that makes sense. It just sounds just like vampires should not be part of this world, but we're going to roll with it, you know. But either way, I did really like Lawrence Fishburne as a vampire, and the humor that came with the fact that he was a vampire, and as everybody was kind of realizing he was a vampire, and like Geralt was like, well, I've known the entire time. Yeah, let's talk about the experimental episode 5, I think it was. Episode 5 was like a really 50-50 hit or miss episode for me. It's like some things about that episode worked and some of it didn't. Like Jaskier, I normally love when Joey Beatty gets the opportunity to just sing his heart out. But yeah, Jaskier in that particular episode, the musical number honestly didn't really work for me that well, and it wasn't very catchy like some of the past songs have been. You know, it's like nothing's ever really going to truly toss a coin to your Witcher, you know? So yeah, the musical number in that particular episode kind of didn't really work for me. It's like when I saw that it was going to be a musical number, I got really excited for it, but then yeah, I was really disappointed because it didn't totally work for me. And then yeah, there's like a sequence where we're getting more of like Lawrence Fishburne's his backstory, you know, the vampire stuff. That was all done as like an animated piece. So that was kind of cool. I did like that, and an interesting way to tell his story. Moving on to Yennefer's chunk of the story really quickly. Again, Yennefer's story just felt kind of stagnant, and then yeah, why not just go ahead and get rid of Vilgefortz this season? You know, why continue it into another season? I don't really know why. The thing is, I did like seeing Yennefer going around to all these other witches and recruiting them to the cause, because they all have a common enemy. Each woman that she goes to throughout the first several episodes, there has been past drama. You know, all of these women have had past conflict and drama with each other. Again, they all have a common goal and a common enemy, so it's like I like seeing all these women finally be like, okay, let's unite. And yeah, Vilgefortz as a villain, it's like he's very powerful, and I do like him as a character, but this season, once again, this season just being so stagnant, I feel like the season didn't do his character any favors either. It's like he is a threat, but at the same time, I just didn't really feel the threat coming off of him for whatever reason. It's like he felt unstoppable. You know, he felt unstoppable, and yeah, indeed, it's going to continue into another season. And Istrid, you guys, can we talk about Istrid really quickly? Oh no, he dies. I'm so upset. No. And then yeah, talking about some more with Ciri and the rats really quickly, which, you know, looking down here at my notes, I think I pretty much went over a lot of it. Yeah, Ciri's chunk of the season was not my favorite whatsoever. Whenever I went to Ciri, I kept thinking, okay, I want to go back to either Geralt or I want to go back to Yennefer. You know, every time I went to Ciri, I just could not stand everything going on with Ciri. Yeah, never got to know or care for the rats, unfortunately. I'm going to tie in some of these other characters to Ciri's plot. Emperor Emir, you guys, if anything, I wanted some more Emperor Emir this season. This man is a force to be reckoned with throughout this entire show. You know, he's someone that's always talked about, but yeah, last season we finally kind of got him in the flesh. Yeah, he's Ciri's dad, and yeah, there's that girl who's posing as a fake Ciri, and it takes a while for people to kind of realize that, and yet Emperor Emir, once he finds out, it's like, well, okay, let's just roll with it, you know, to get what I want, because yeah, there's this whole prophecy, you know, that's wrapped around like the fate of their family, the destiny of their family, or whatever, you know, wrapping around Ciri. So yeah, Emperor Emir just kind of rolls with the fake Ciri, thinking he's still going to play into the prophecy. But yeah, I love Emperor Emir. I wish we can have more with him. It's like, yeah, give me more of that. You know, give me more of that than what Ciri's up to. And then yeah, guest starring this season, we have James Purefoy. You guys, I had no idea James Purefoy was going to be in this season. I knew Lawrence Fishburne was going to be in this season, but I had no idea about James Purefoy. Yeah, he's got like a spy, I guess, is his role in Emperor Emir's court. I really liked what James Purefoy was doing with this character. He didn't have many scenes, but he made the most out of the scenes that he did have. And talking about Charlotte Copley really quickly, he plays a bounty hunter named Leo Bonhart. And yeah, Charlotte Copley is just so unrecognizable in this role. Yeah, guys, I had no idea it was him until the credits started rolling and his name popped up, and I was like, wait a minute, who the hell was he? So yeah, he is completely unrecognizable as the character of Leo Bonhart. And oh yeah, he's a great antagonist to this season. I really loved him as an antagonist. Yeah, it's like I didn't particularly really like the plot with Ciri or the rats, but whenever he popped up, it's like I liked that. Moving to the Rats spin-off movie very quickly here. This movie, well, these characters, I guess. This was originally supposed to be a spin-off TV show. You know how they did like that other spin-off show a couple years ago? This was supposed to be a spin-off show with just the rats, but that kind of fell through and they just decided to make a movie out of it instead. And nobody had any idea about this movie coming out the same day as season 4 of The Witcher. Like, when I was done with The Witcher, the Rats, the movie, popped up saying, okay, now watch this next. And I was like, wait, what? I had no idea about this movie. Yeah, this movie is only about like an hour and a half or so, and it's about who it's about from the titles, obviously, the character of the Rats. And this is supposed to be like a prequel before Ciri meets them. So yeah, it's like in season 4, we already know they're all dead. You know, we know the fate of what's going to happen to them, that they're all going to die. So yeah, this prequel, you know, this is what's terrible. This is what's terrible about this prequel movie, is that I really liked the character of the Rats in this movie compared to their time on season 4. The movie, since it was strictly just focused on them, I felt like I finally kind of got to know them better, understand them better, like their dynamics with each other as individuals, you know. I really quite liked this movie. It has a very, very low rating on IMDb, you guys. People hated this movie. I don't know why it's hated so much. I personally liked it. Yeah, does it add anything to the universe of The Witcher? No, it does not. But I found it to be just a really fun, entertaining little spin-off into some side characters that I didn't particularly care about on season 4, you know. And yeah, there's like another Witcher in this movie, played by Dolph Lundgren of all people. So I liked seeing all that. Yeah, the plot. I've not even said what the plot of the movie is, but yeah, the Rats, they are planning a heist against a crime ring, where they recruit a Witcher to help them with this heist. That's pretty much it for the bulk of the movie. They're going to go do a heist to get some money. They need a Witcher to help them because there's like a creature guarding the money that they need. So yeah, the movie, it's a shame that I ended up liking the Rats in this movie more than I did in their season of The Witcher. I thought the movie was just, it was fun, it was entertaining, it served the purpose that it needed to. I didn't really expect much from it. So that's pretty much it for my thoughts and feelings on Witcher Season 4 and the Rats movie. I'm definitely curious to hear other people's thoughts and opinions about this season of The Witcher. I definitely know it has its fair share of haters. I just can't bring myself to hate this show. It takes a lot for me to hate something. I'm just very lenient with things. As long as I'm entertained, that's all that kind of matters to me. Yes, can I be frustrated with something? Can I be disappointed with something? Yeah, I'm never just going to hate on something just to hate on something, which I feel like The Witcher gets a lot, which I think is unfair, because I think The Witcher is still a very, very good show. Yeah, it has its moments that's like, what the hell, you know, but it's really good fantasy entertainment. But I'm definitely curious how people felt about this season. Let's have a controlled discussion about it, if you will. So that is it for my thoughts and feelings on season 4 of The Witcher. Let me know how you felt down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.